Hi Tubies, we're back. So we've got our parts now for our car. So we're going to make a start now with the front section of the car. Let's have a look what we're doing. So you've seen I've got the parts. So what my plan is, you can see all the different layers of rust going on there. So what I want to do is replace this inner pan. I'm just going to make my own. You can see it's had different little bits of sections. Where's my finger? You can see where there's been little repair bits done there. So what my plan is, I want to cut out all the way round that, remove this piece. Obviously I've got an A-frame, A-post pillar support there, and I've got the back section there. You probably didn't need to buy this piece. So, and it goes right down there. So that's there. That's actually stops short. Look at that. What a crack. You can see that I suppose that's the inner seal there. So I'll have to, so yeah, that panel stops there. You can see actually, you see some spot weld action going on there. Right, so what I'm thinking of doing, I'm thinking maybe I'm gonna make a start. I want to replace this first, which will give me my line, and then I can replace this back on. Then ultimately I can replace the front A pillar support. What I did with the other one, the wing support's rotted out anyway. I mean, you could probably reuse that. I mean, it's only just the fixings on it. But like on the other side, I actually cut it directly behind it. There's no point going past into good metal with cutting out stuff. Although you get whole panels, like I've seen on other YouTubers, you don't need to replace the whole panel. Just replace the bits that are rotted. Like here, obviously it was subjected to the elements, because it's literally just rotted up to that welded section there. Where that A panel is spot welded onto it. So I may do the same actually. I don't know yet. I might just drill loads of holes out and plug weld it all the way around. That's going to be behind everything, so I think I seam welded it on the other side. I'll see how I get on anyway. So I think what my initial plan is, I thought this was long. I thought this went down deeper, but you can see where it's stepped there actually. So obviously that lip goes into there. I'm not going to use all this panel. You can see where that square part is there. I think what I might do, first of all I might cut this. I'm thinking I'm just cutting straight down at this section, at this moment. I'm just going to get my grinder out. I'm just going to cut straight through the whole lot, just to remove this rotten piece out. And I might just cut down through there. I just want to remove this section so I can get this new panel in. Then I'll probably have to fabricate something here for the lower inner part. I haven't bought an inner seal panel. They're quite expensive, they are, and I think I need, like the other side, I literally just bought some thick gauge metal and just welded it in on the other side. I'll probably do the same there to suit. As long as I keep the profile line there, it should be good to go. Trouble is, everything overlaps everything, so you have to sort of go backwards 2 steps before you can move forward with these, ultimately. So I'm going to set up the grinder, I think, and I'm just going to go ahead and just cut out some of this rotten section here now, I think. And let's get on. I'll set you up and we'll get cutting. So that's I've literally just done a rough cut on that. That's cut out now. That's all the rot cut out now. You can see there. I went a bit deeper on this side. I wasn't planning on going that deep initially, but I thought if I'm going to start cutting, I might as well cut this bad bit out. I mean, it's still a bit... It's not too bad in there. It's a bit surface rust, but it's not rotted. So I've cut the worst of it out, so that's giving me the outline. Like I said, this part here, I'm going to try and retain as much as possible if I can. This is the inner seal, so I might just try and keep as best of that as I can. I might just trim it around there and keep that. Otherwise I'm going to have got overlapping issues there to deal with. That's where they've cut a speaker out and they just bashed it through. I was wondering what this hose was actually. I think now in hindsight that is the actual fuel line for the carburetor. That is from the tank. So I've got to be careful with that. I don't think there's much fuel in the tank, but even so, you don't want to cut through it, do you? So let's have a look what we cut out. So I'm going to keep this for reference. But it should be alright really. I can pretty much see what's going on. You can see how rotted this is out here. There's a little panel made there. Some other panels made there. This is about 3 or 4 layers thick in some places where I had real trouble cutting through it. You can see where the bits have been welded, like there's just been loads of bits just stuck together there. That's really bad. See, that's the trouble with welding. It's like you can replace do little repairs, but then if it's encased in something, you can't get inside to give it a coat of protection, which is quite difficult. And I think that spray-on weld-through zinc primer has got a little bit desired for, to be honest. So, quite happy with that initial first cuts. So that's giving me my opening now for my inner A panel support. So what I'm going to probably do next is I'll probably measure the piece I need out of this now. Next stage. Like I said, you can see where it's been. I've obviously come down the corner of that there. That's a bit of a strange angle on that. I don't know if it's supposed to be like that or it's just bent. I don't know. It looks a bit odd that bit, but maybe that's how it is. That disappears. That's right, actually. That's how it goes. That disappears behind. So I think what I'll do next, I'll take some measurements. I'm going to cut this section out, and I'm going to weld that piece in, I think, and that will give me my support for the back plate. Then I'm going to clean all this up here. I know it all looks rough, but that's the best I can get with the grinder at this stage. I've got a mini grinder, die grinder. I'll cut that out with there. Got more layers going on there. I'm going to cut it out there. Then what I'll probably do is I'll measure the thickness of this steel, and I'll just get some cardboard and get the shape first. I'll transfer it onto the steel. And then probably what I'll do, I'll make loads of holes on this edge, and I'll just probably plug weld it all the way through. It should be okay, I would have thought. So I'm quite happy with that, the initial stage. It's good to see when it looks worse initially, that on the floor, but once the rot's cut out, it makes it look 100 times better. I mean, I've still got that to deal with at the front, but that'll probably be the last section at the front. I'll have to take off this wing support. I might take some measurements for that, because obviously the wing's got to go back exact. So play it by there. I'm going to take this off, I think, and then I'll cut the line behind it for the A panel support, and I'll do like I said, I'll weld it through. Then once all this stuff's been rebuilt, I can go on and carry on with doing the inner floor pan and carry on down the car doing the seal sections and stuff. So that's great. So next step will be the cutting that up and welding that in place. I'll probably just butt weld that in actually, I would have thought. Just grind it all flat like I did before. I don't think I'm going to bother trying to create a lip on it and just weld it in.